Okay, let's have a look at the opposite of the accelerate method, and let's go and look at the brake and see if we can find any similarities that we can use and that will help us to get this done. Let's jump in and get the brake method completed. So accelerate is done, and we're now moving on to brake. This is going to be really easy because this is exactly the same thing, just in reverse. So of course, the first thing we need to do is check if broken, and of course braking is just in logic form is just the opposite to accelerate. So basically we need to be like, if gear again is greater than or equal to forward, okay, there. I probably shouldn't even be typing this out. I should just be copy pasting it. Speed. Okay, because we're doing the opposite. If you remember, at this point, this was plus. So of course, if the car is going forward and we want it to brake, so we want it to decelerate, we need to go minus +5. And then here, so if here less than, well, is equal to 0. Nope. Reverse speed plus equals 5. Okay. Hopefully that makes complete sense to you. Yeah. So now the conditionals are going to be different because now we're decelerating. So we need to make sure that the car, while the car is in drive, it doesn't go backwards, because a car that is in drive cannot go backwards because the automatic gearbox will not allow you to go backwards. So we have to try and at least simulate real life. So what we need to do is we need to go if speed is, we need to be careful here. Okay, we need to be careful because we can't have a conditional that interferes with reverse. Okay, so if we go if speed is less than or equal to 0, speed equals 0, we can't do that. Okay, so first of all we have to make sure the gear is greater than or equal to sorry guys, let me just forward. There we go. So if gear is equal to forward, I've forgotten what the and is in Python. I'm so used to doing this in other languages. So let's just and speed is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so if the car is in forward and for some reason we have dropped the speed below 0, we now need to correct it back to 0. We need to go speed equals 0. And what I recommend doing here, guys, to give yourself a little bit extra marks, let's say, not that this is getting marks, but if you want a little bit more thing, you should print the car is already stopped. And what that allows the user and also anybody who might be just looking over your code, it lets people know that you know that the car, there is a chance that this could happen in your code, that while the car is in forward, that if you don't regulate the decrease of speed. So what I mean by that is somebody could just, in the text file, someone could go forward, okay, and then someone could just go brake like this, Okay, again, break, Control C, Control B. Okay, someone could just do this. And the thing is what you would end up with your output is that you would have speed would be like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that would be like minus 15 because it would hit your conditional, which if you minus too many times, it would stop at because we say like the minimum speed is minus 15. Sorry. Okay, that's what I meant. Okay, and then gear would be like 1, and then direction is still 0 because we haven't actually put in the correction yet. We should do that. Okay, and this is incorrect. We can't have that. So what we should be having is this should be 0. Okay, and then what we really should just have is ready, stopped. Okay, dot dot dot. Okay, and then what we should really have is this Control C. Okay, we should really that's probably too many. Sorry. 1, 2. Yeah. So that's really what we should be seeing, and what that allows the user or anybody who's just checking you out. Maybe it's an employer. Maybe this is the senior engineer, and they're checking you out to see what you've done, and they've downloaded this, and they hit go, and they're like, look at that. Like they knew that there was a chance that the code would drop into the minuses when the gear is in forward, but they prevented it. So they have these conditionals there, these error prevention, concepts, and this is great. So let's write that down on my list. And so this is a good way just to show people that you understand that computers are not, sentient, and they cannot figure this out. They'll just do what you tell them to do, and this is why it's important to know these things. So there's an example of why you need this. Yep, and we also obviously need to do the same the other way. So if the car is in reverse, it doesn't go into positive numbers. So basically this. So speed is like 5 or whatever. If we put this as accelerate, oh wait, sorry, no, let me just, okay, backward. Okay, so it's the same here. We need to make sure that the car doesn't end up like gear 0, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so that's 25. Okay, so we don't want that as well. So we need to fix this so that doesn't happen. So we need to go if gear is equal to reverse and speed is 0. Let me just check that. Yep. Again, you don't really need to have the equals there, but we'll just leave it there for now. Okay, speed equals 0. And then we need to print this. Okay, and that will basically fix this problem, so we don't end up with crazy numbers being added and subtracted from speed when the gear is not coinciding with the direction of travel. Now that I've actually delved into simulator here, as you can see, what I've actually done is I've completely changed simulation.txt to what is written in the README file. So what you probably copy and paste it over, you are most welcome to test and change this file so that you can test your code. So you can see here what I did is I placed it into backwards, and then I press break, 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 and then when I execute this, my file, I can watch the outcome, which was what I wrote here. Okay, so what I wrote here would be down in the console. It would be in your window console if you're on Visual Studio, etc. So it allows you to test. So don't be afraid to change this. So maybe I wanted to test like, you know, my limits. So I can just do this and I can go like control. Actually, why do I write backwards? What a moron. There we go. Okay, and then go control C. Okay, maybe I just wanted to see, how, you know, if my acceleration limit works in reverse. You can do this. So don't be afraid to change your simulation.txt so that you can test your code. Okay, guys, so that's break done. We don't need to really go over anything else here. I want you to remember this is a beginner program. Do not drown yourself in complexity. You know, as long as you're doing simple things like this, you know, you don't have to go any deeper or any more complex. Okay, do not drown yourself in complexity. That's for when you become like intermediate programmer and a more advanced program. Then you can drown yourself in complexity, which is not a good idea, but still. Let's leave it there. All right, guys, next video.